Hi, welcome to the Lala Show. This is episode 11 of our weekly podcast on Chinese entertainment. As you can see, we are posting on Wednesdays now. We switched our schedule a little bit just because me and A's schedules are a little bit hard to sync in, and I feel like this would be better for the both of us since we are adults and we work and life is hard, okay?
We are not willing participants in the adulting, at least not me.
Right? Okay. Well, I mean, this week, I think a lot of shows are ending this week, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we can do like a little bit more of a recap. I know 我们相爱吧, We Got Married has ended, but they haven't uploaded the video, which is really annoying because I want to see it.
I know. I think they left it on such a cliffhanger for the Wu Shong couple.
Also the 天使 couple.
I don't watch them. So
whatever. But apparently, Wu Shong, didn't they kiss?
Did they?
I don't know, but like I saw images or like clips or screenshots of like them sort of kissing, and then there were comments about they cut it out or something like that, and I was like very confused.
I didn't see that in the last
Me
last
either.
episode.
That's why I was trying to look for it, but it didn't happen. So I'm wondering, did they really cut it out or what's going on?
I also feel like that might be like one of those things where it's like an angle, maybe like they took the picture at a weird angle, but they weren't actually kissing.
But I saw an image of him holding her face.
Oh, really?
Like, you know, one of those like forced, like cutely forced kisses where like the guy like cameras your face.
I don't know. I didn't see any pictures though, so I don't know. Well, because I don't go on Weibo that often.
No, but I was also on YouTube, and it was under the same video, and people were making comments about how, oh my god, they kissed. Did they cut it out? I don't get it. What's going on? And I'm like, I don't see anything. Where are they kissing?
I didn't see anything either. I think for them, it was just interesting because Wu Xin asked, like, was that question real? Which I think is such an interesting, because it's kind of like everyone knows that it's scripted. So is that question scripted? And it gets into that whole, like...
Script inception.
Yeah, thanks. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, is this question about whether the other question was scripted or not scripted?
So who is telling the truth? Pan Weibo or Wu Xin? But also with 天使 couple though, they didn't kiss, but she kissed him. On the latest episode, she kissed him on the cheek. I think he was very surprised.
Was it cute?
Well, of course. It was cute, but like again with them, it's so hard to tell whether or not it's really, really good acting or it's just that they really, really care for each other. Because if it was the latter, then they need to be together in real life, and if it's not the latter, then that's so annoying because then they're like lying to people.
That's the premise of that whole show.
I know, but that's so sad. Like if that whole show was meant to be for someone to find love, but then break them up afterwards. I mean, I don't know. It's a very conflicting show.
I feel like it's really just like they're trying to put out something that's like equivalent to like an idol drama, but in like semi-real life, so it seems more believable.
Yeah, but it just crushes your dreams when they don't end up together.
Yeah.
And then it's like they really broke up. But like in those short amount of times, they like legitly seem like they care about each other.
Yeah. I feel that way about some We Got Married couples.
It's like most of them.
Maybe just one. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting because Zheng Kai is on it with his actual girlfriend, so that one's nice to be like, oh, they actually probably are still
well, yeah, I mean, they're
together.
Still really cute. But like I said, after you kind of go that public with your relationship, the only next step is to get married because then everyone's going to be watching you. And like if you break up, then it's like, oh, we're going to watch We Got Married reruns and relive your love life.
So sad.
So sad. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that comes out soon so we can recap it.
Yes. I just want to be able to fangirl over the Wu Weisheng couple. They're cute. They're awkward, but so cute. We love it.
Okay. What other shows are ending?
So both Superboy and Rap of China ended.
Oh, the wonderful shows of the summer.
Some more wonderful than others. So let's start with Superboy, the perhaps more underwhelming show of the two.
Okay.
So the last episode, the last few episodes, Huang Zitao was like a guest judge.
No, wait. Huang Zidao came on the show when Wu Yifan was there?
No, I'm talking about Superboy.
Oh, okay, okay, I'm getting myself mixed up now.
No.
Oh my god, that would have been so bad.
It would have been interesting.
It
But
would have been weird. I mean, I don't know if they're weird, but
I feel like they'd be weird.
I don't know, maybe they're just secret bros and they just can't be seen together.
No, because then the scandal, or I mean, like their beef or whatever, is because after
What's their beef?
Chris left, and then Tao badmouthed him in the media.
But then Huang Zitao left too, so what's the point? You both left.
But before Huang Zitao left, he badmouthed Chris in the media.
Oh, and then he left.
And then he left after that. Like
Oh, so
he was
both
like, "Oh, I can't
douchebags.
believe he would do something like this, abandon us." You know, like stuff like that. And then afterwards he
yep.
left.
So stupid.
But that's why they're probably not bros, cuz you know.
Yeah.
If that happened to you, would you still be bros with that person? I wouldn't.
No, I'd be like, you hypocrite.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, continue.
Anyways, okay, so
Continue your story.
So he's the guest judge on 快乐男声, and so then like the opening song he does with like he did. So I'm talking about the last episode. So he did the opening song for that episode, and it sounded weirdly out of tune. And then that
Was he singing?
he was singing and rapping. But I think like that was something that I saw like throughout the episode where there were these moments where I was like, that sounds out of tune. It was weird. Like not just him, but like the contestants and stuff. Like there was just all these moments where it sounded like slightly wrong, and I was like, am I thinking too hard about this, or are they just off key? And I don't know. But yes, so then the last four contestants were Yang Ji, our fave, and then Wei Xun, and then Yan Yike, who is the guy with a really high vocal range, who he sounds really castrato-y, and then Huang Rongsheng, international model guy. And so what's interesting about these four finalists is, other than Yan Yike, who's 18 years old, the rest of them are like the oldest in the, top 20 or whatever. Because it's really a show for young people, like young male singers. So it's interesting that the top four included a 25-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a 29-year-old.
Wait, I have a question. Is that guy the guy that made that girl judge cry? You know who I'm talking about? The guy with like the really interesting voice. He kind of sang more like blues. His voice was very high pitched, R&B, blues, soft jazz.
He doesn't sing R&B and blues, but his voice is very high pitched.
That's the vibe I got from him.
Yeah. But I think that was just the first song, because afterwards he actually sings a lot more songs that are kind of more alternative sounding, like so a lot of like Alanis Morissette, Cranberries type stuff.
Is he in the four or no?
He is in the top four.
Oh, what's his name?
Yan Yike. Yeah. And so those are the top four. Obviously, we know my feelings about Yang Ji. I hate him so much. I mean, I don't know that I hate him, but just like he should not be in the top four. And so, I don't know. So, first round, Huang Rongsheng sang Fever by Michael Bublé, which was not a good choice. And then Yan Yike sang Don't Break My Heart, which... I mean, honestly, I skipped through a lot of his performances because I feel like the novelty wears off, and then he just sounds like any alternative band's female singer. And when you compare it that way, then it's not that amazing, at least to me. But he does have an interesting style, and I think he has an interesting attitude. Like, he's very like, I don't care, like very like yeah.
When they were on Happy Camp, I saw that he was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so he's funny in like a stoic way, but in terms of like his singing, I'm not like in love with it. I do think he has interest, like I think he has good music taste, but I don't love it. And then Wei Xun sang 我 by Zhang Guorong, which is, you know, a classic. And actually all throughout the last episode, I think Wei Xun made these really strategic choices in the songs that he picked, because he picks like really popular songs, like songs that everyone knows. And so, but it was kind of weird. In his second song, he sounded like he went off tune, actually, and then he like took out his earpiece so he could hear himself. So it sounded like something went wrong with, or it looked like something went wrong with his earpiece. He took it out and then like kept singing, and then he did that again like the next two songs he did.
This is a classic drama move. In any reality singing show, somebody has to mess up and something has to happen on stage, and they're like, you have good reaction. You reacted to that in a timely manner. I respect you.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, he had the competition on lock. Like, remember in the beginning of the season when I was like, I think he's gonna win?
He won?
He won.
Okay, let me forward back, because obviously I haven't watched any of this, and then my memory is only like clippets of them. Wei Xun is the one he went on Luo Zixiang's team, no?
Yes.
He first judged with that guy, the old guy.
Li Jian.
Yeah, and then Luo Zixiang stole him, that guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I got it.
Because he was on a singing competition in like 2014 where he placed like second, I think. But then afterwards, like, didn't make it at all. And so then this was like, you know, him trying to revive his singing career. But he was the only one, like, or he's like the strongest singer in like essentially the top 13. It's like easily, like, if you actually are basing it on singing ability, then he wins hands down. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like there's points where he went off key, but he was still so much stronger than everyone else that it was really obvious that he was going to win. So he did Qingren by Wang Lihong, I think, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and then his last one was 不为谁而作的歌 by JJ Lin.
Oh.
Yeah, so he like really good song
choice.
Choices, really popular.
Did he do well? I need to go back and listen to this now because I love these songs.
I didn't really like 情人. I liked 我 and I liked 不为谁而作的歌.
Okay.
I mean, I like both of those songs a lot. So then I think he did a good job. And like, again, really smart song choice because they're songs that everyone knows, right?
Yeah. But that could also backfire if it was like a really popular song and a lot of people did covers of it, then he's going to get a lot of comparison.
Yeah, but he's also a pretty strong singer. So I think that's why he did fine.
Your high judgment of him is interesting. Now I really need to go see this.
He's not like... I feel like if he was on a different show, then you wouldn't think that he's that impressive. But it's kind of like he's a big fish in a small pond.
Wow. Okay. I see.
And so, yeah, I mean... so then Huang Rongsheng, international model guy, got eliminated the first after he sang Fever, which I was kind of sad about, but I get because it was not a strong song choice, and he did this like jazz interpretation of it that wasn't nearly as strong as Michael Bublé, which is why you should never choose a song by a singer whose voice is more powerful than yours, because it just makes you, like, in comparison, it just doesn't sound good. And then the second to be eliminated was Yan Yike, which...
Okay.
Again, doesn't make sense because Yang Ji. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. Yang Ji, period.
Yeah, because Yang Ji.
Like, I just don't get it. And then Yang Ji placed second, which he really shouldn't have.
Does he sing or did he rap? Like, what was his performance choices?
So this was a 3-round elimination. And so then the first 2 rounds he did rap songs. The first one was this song that he like wrote himself, called something like Fly Like a G or something, like one of those general like random like cool hip slang words that is applied strangely in lyrics
that he doesn't understand.
Yeah, and again, like, he's unintelligible when he raps, and like it's like 没有内容, So I feel like one of the things I really wonder, and this is like a tangent, but I really wonder how he would have done if he had gone on a show like 中国有嘻哈.
Right? Eliminated first round.
I think so too. I don't think he would have made it through, which is like, but then on a show like 快乐男声, he gets to like 2nd place.
Yeah, no, because he was probably like one of the only ones that rapped, probably, and the only ones that know how to do that keyboard thing with his mouth. I think that's what got him so far, is that his uniqueness. But again, you can see that also that it's overplayed.
But there were a lot of other people on this season that rap.
I don't know what you want me to say, okay?
There's no justification for it. Only Heimu.
Heimu, what did he... Yeah, yes.
Okay, I don't know. But yeah, so then for his last song, he did a slow song, and he sang, and which, as I've said before, he's not a very strong singer. He's not like a terrible singer, but he's not a strong singer. So he sang, and then he like did a like, introspective rap, I guess. And I actually think that this was the best performance that he's put on all season comparatively. But like, cause at least I like understood what he was singing, and but then and rapping. But then like it was like there was this one moment where it's a ballad, right? And it's sad. He like starts dancing.
What song is this? Do I know the song?
It's called 吃亏.
By who?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't know. But there's a lot of like lyrical dances now where like it's kind of slow.
It's not interpretive dance. He was like trying to do like the robot.
What?
The robot?
I just low-key snorted. Okay, but what? Because, okay, you know how there's some like slow but poppy songs nowadays, and they can kind of do like lyrical hip-hop to that?
Yeah.
But he was doing the robot to a ballad.
I mean, not exactly the robot. More like maybe like his interpretation of popping/locking.
Oh my god. That's all he knows how to do.
It is. It is weird. I don't know. And so like, I think if he had not tried to dance, I would have been like, okay, well, this was a pretty good performance for him, because all of the other performances I have either hated or skipped. So I was like, but then he started dancing and I was like, what is going on? And yeah, he danced his way to the top 2. So
2nd place. Okay, imagine if he did if he kind of just did his own thing, what he knew. What if he got placed first? Because what if that terrible ballad/popping song got him pushed to 2nd, and if he had done like something with his little keyboard thing, what if people loved it and he became first?
I don't think it would have happened. Because like, so then they do like they do popularity rankings every week, or for every round almost, like towards the end, and Wei Xun's always at the top.
How old is Wei Xun? Is he the oldest one?
Yeah, he's 29.
He's 29. Oh wow.
He's cute.
He actually doesn't look 29.
He cute though.
He doesn't look 29. I don't know about cute, but he doesn't look 29. He
has sometimes dubious fashion choices, but I could see myself like being a fan of him depending on what kind of music he puts out afterwards.
Yeah, what his direction is. Because again, you're saying that he's 29, almost 30. How long he's gonna, be one of those hip Oshang artists.
But he has a better chance as like a solo singer than like trying to join a boy band.
Of course, no boy bands. China does not do boy bands.
China does do boy bands, but
they do not do well in boy bands, okay?
TF boys.
Let's not go there.
yeah, I don't know, but you know the thing with not 快乐大本营快乐男生 is that like most of the top, I would say like maybe the top 10 like gets signed by E Media, and so it'll be interesting seeing what they get up to afterwards and whether or not, because I feel like your ranking in the show doesn't actually predict how well you do after the show, and so it'll be interesting to see who does well and who maybe doesn't do as well.
Yeah. Who was, okay, so speaking of which, sorry, going back, like way back, do you remember, you know, Zhang Jie's era? Zhang Jie and Wei Chen were on the same era, no?
I think Zhang Jie was on a season after Wei Chen.
Really?
Well, Wei Chen's from 2007, I think. I don't remember which season
I thought
Zhang Jie's from.
Zhang Jie would be before, because he's older. He's more popular.
I don't know. I don't think they're from the same year, because then I know Wei Chen is like really close to the people from his year, and then some of them are like, I think it's like Alan Su, and then that guy who was in the helicopter accident with Selena. What's his name?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. Yu Haomin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, because they were on 流星花园 together. But yeah, because both of them weren't like first places in their season.
No.
But I think they're the most popular out of their seasons.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Wei Chen is like, he got popular enough that he signed to Warner Music now instead of E Media.
Is Warner Media a big deal?
Warner Music? Like WB?
I guess that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Who else is signed to it?
To Warner?
Isn't Lu Zhixiang signed to it?
I think so. Or Sony. I can't
Right.
remember if it's Warner or Sony.
Yeah, he's either Sony or something. Just because it's a big deal doesn't mean they make good music, okay? It does not justify anything.
You still have to like have enough, like you have to
Talent.
be popular enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and then they did a special episode after the final episode where it's like a concert with like the top 15 contestants, which I feel like is just like the lead-in for like, you know, a tour, like, you know, like the nationwide tour of like the top however many contestants. You know, what other shows? Oh, like American Idol, when they like yeah, so I feel like it's the lead-in for that, or for, you know, all of them getting signed. But I haven't watched all of it, but then Huang Rongsheng and Wang Guangyun did a cover of Flow by Fang Datong and Wang Lihong, and it was pretty good. I really like that song, and I really like Fang Datong, and I'm mentioning it because I know you really like Wang Lihong, so I'm assuming that.
I like Fang Datong too, so pretty cool. I actually haven't heard that song though, but that's just because I haven't been listening to Chinese music for a while.
It's off of his most recent album, which was really, really good. I would recommend you listen to it if you get a chance.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I'm glad Yanji didn't win. I feel like I'm just satisfied that he didn't win.
Me too.
He's still gonna be popular though. I think, what if he joins a boy band? What if they make a small boy band out of this season's Superboy? I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like if they were to make a boy band, they wouldn't include him in it. They would take the younger people. They would take the younger people who have like, they would take like Model Guy. Not International Model Guy, but Model Guy, the one who can't sing.
Or that guy that's like, he speaks English but bad English.
Yeah. That guy, and then Model Guy, and then Zhu Laiti.
Maybe they'll add that interesting guy too. The high-pitched guy.
No, I feel like he would do better solo. I feel like they would put those three, and then maybe one of the people who got eliminated early but was a pretty strong singer.
Oh, that guy that doesn't know how to sing but he looks good.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like,
Model
I don't know
Guy.
How to sing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the Model Guy? Oh.
Well, because there's Model Guy and there's International Model Guy. Because Model Guy is just like the one who got in because he's good looking, and International Model Guy is the one who is not good looking by regular standards but is good looking by international model standards.
So many rankings.
It's true. Oh, also for International Model Guy, they finally put his hair up. They gave him some good accessories. He was like wearing glasses, like fake glasses one episode. It really elevated his look. And I just wish he would stop wearing such baggy clothing so that, you know, because he's tall. He should just wear like skinny jeans and like maybe like a loose short top so that it looks like you're like super tall and modelly, right? Like don't
drown yourself.
Yeah, he wears like the jackets that go down to like your knees and then baggy pants under that. I'm just like, this is not doing you any favors. If you want to be international handsome, you gotta clean up your silhouette. I'm just saying.
Yes.
The other show that ended was 中国有嘻哈, which we have been talking about and that I have been following. I didn't watch the episode after MC Jin got eliminated because I was pissed, but then I started watching it again after that.
Okay.
And it's so much harder for me to have actual constructive, well, like any like constructive opinions about it, because I feel like rap is much harder to judge if you don't know like because it's a very lyrical art form, and like for me, because my Chinese isn't that good, I don't know what the content of their songs are most of the time. So I don't know. I think overall, like for the like towards the end, I was like, oh, they're all great, but with no strong feelings about the content, because I feel like you really have to know what they're saying to know whether or not the rap is any good. But the top 4 were I Fujiani, and then Guy, and PG1, and Johnny J. And Johnny J is interesting because he's actually a pretty well-known rapper, I guess, in the underground scene, and maybe outside of it. But he got eliminated pretty early on because he kept forgetting the lyrics to his raps. And so he came back in the revival round, which I thought was also really weird because they held the revival round right before the last episode. And like, usually you want to hold it like somewhere in the middle, right? Because then that makes more sense to like integrate that person back into the competition, and so that person can get more exposure to the audience. But they did it right before the last round, and he beat everyone in the revival round, and then got a place in the top 4 after not being on the show for like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But he was also eliminated first because he wasn't as popular as everyone else. So
Well, yeah, because he was gone for a long time, right?
Yeah, and I actually really liked his song. It was called 不用去猜, and it was really about like not knowing where you're going to end up and like being okay with that. At least the parts I understood. Again, I don't understand everything, but I thought it was a really good song. I liked it a lot. Oh, also I have to mention before any of that is the beginning of the episode, they brought MC Jin back to do like the opening song. He did like the whole opening song.
Wait, why didn't they bring him back for revival?
I don't know. Honestly, they should, like, because then, like, you know, the reason they put him in the beginning, and like they used him as like a plot, or not a plot device, but like they used him to bring in views the whole episode, because like he did the song in the beginning of the episode. None of the actual judges performed. It was MC Jin doing like the opening performance, and like everyone like basically screaming their heads off for him because he's a legend in the like rap scene, especially in the Chinese rap scene. So it was like,
that still confuses me. Like, I don't understand why he was even on the sweeper competition. Sorry. Like, he doesn't need to be.
I think he needs, or I think he wants to start a career in China because he hasn't been that successful in reviving his career in the States.
But in Hong Kong.
Yeah, but then, you know, China's a much bigger market.
But you should start somewhere where you know and then build your way up. Like, you can, if you have that big of a name, you rap in Cantonese or whatever, people are still going to listen to you in China.
He rapped in Cantonese for like 10 years.
Yeah, but if he's as legendary as you say, he's no doubt going to get fans and people who listen to him.
Yeah, but I think it's part of like the whole, because 中国有嘻哈, like I think he probably anticipated that it was going to really like propel hip hop into the mainstream, and like to have his face out there and his name, like it introduces him to a lot of people who might just be watching it because it's trendy or whatever, you know? So, I mean, I think it makes sense as a career move for him to do that. It just doesn't make sense on a like level thing, you know? Like, honestly, it would have made a lot more sense if they had asked him to judge the competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, if I was him, I would not have done that. That's such a... I don't know. It's not worth it.
I mean, I think it's cool that he was able to humble himself and do that. Or, like, he's a pretty humble guy, so
I can see that.
Yeah, but then it just doesn't make sense to like anybody who knows who he is, because he is more qualified to judge than all of the judges.
Yeah, so which doesn't make sense at all. Again, I don't get it, and I don't even like him.
Yeah, and so then like one of the setups for this last episode was that like the top 100 rappers that were eliminated, they came back to like vote for like, you know, who was gonna advance to the next round of the competition, and every single time they spent like way too much time on MC Jin to see who he would pick, because like they just want him to rake in views, and then like after he picks someone, then even the judge is like, oh, so he picked this guy over all these other people. Like his opinion matters more than everyone else's.
Oh my god, don't understand this show.
I don't know. Like they should have, honestly, if I were in charge of putting together the judges for this show, like that would be like one of the first people that you should think of.
Yeah.
But I guess he's also not as popular in China as like Chris Wu. So they wanted...
No, but that doesn't matter because hip-hop is not a popular culture in China, period. So all those people who are from underground, who knew them? Nobody knew them. How did they find them? You know, like, of course, like, I get if you get one popular person to, like, just to grab in fans, but you need at least one legit, like, actual legit judge, right?
I think, yeah. And I think the most legit one was, like, MC Hot Dog.
See, like, they could have, okay, honestly, sorry, Will Pan, but you could have done MC Hot Dog, Wu Yifan, and MC Jin. Like, you would have one legendary, legit rapper, you would have one kind of mainstream rapper, and you would kind of have a boy band reference. Like, I feel like that would have been a better balance.
I would have done MC Jin, questionable Wu Yifan. I mean, honestly, I really don't think Wu Yifan should have been a judge, but then I get where they're coming from and that they're trying to use him for views. So I would do, like, MC Jin, Wu Yifan, and Miss Ko.
Yeah, that too, because they had it was co-ed, which is also weird because women and men rapping are a little bit different. In my opinion.
I mean, I thought it was good that it was co-ed, but I wish that there had been more female rappers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because I really wanted to like Vava, but I didn't love her.
Vava was on that other show with, oh my god, she was on 梦想声音.
Oh, really?
I remember her. She was on that, and then she did like a whole rap thing with like Hebe's like SHE songs, which is really cool. So I kind of remembered her, and she like became somewhat famous. Like she performed on other music shows too. So I think, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I mean, I like that she is trying to like. She's trying to succeed in a very male-dominated industry, particularly in China. Like all those rappers, like most of those rappers in those spaces are male. But I mean, I wasn't necessarily impressed with her. Like I didn't really like her that much. But yeah,
from at least from my like one episode of watching that. And like you said, a lot of it is because it's such a lyrical thing. A lot of it you have to understand for you to like it. And unfortunately, even though if your Chinese was good, like I understand Chinese, it's fine. I understand English. Like when I listen to English raps too, if I don't understand what you're saying, like I'm not gonna listen to it or I don't understand it. Same thing with Chinese, and it's like they go too fast or they slur too much, where it's like it's just blurs.
Yeah.
So even if you understand the language, you're still not understanding what they're saying, and it still doesn't resonate, you know? Yeah. So that was my main thing from listening to all these people, because I literally had to, like, pause, like, every phrase, like, read the lyrics and see what they're actually saying, or else I don't get it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just, like, a language barrier thing. It was, like, they didn't know how to pronunciate well. Rap is a very, very important in pronunciation, apparently.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Yeah. So let me look at some of these other notes that I have written from this episode. So I wrote Return of MC Jin, aka they're trying to use MC Jin as a money pig again. And then I wrote down,
of course,
Ivu Jenny. And then he went during his song. He kept making the skirt noise, and I hate that noise.
What is that? Like, in Ruyi Fan's new song, he does that a lot. And when he was in快乐男声, he did that a lot. I'm like, what are you saying?
Please stop. Please. I hate that noise. I think it's stupid. I just can't accept it.
Do they do it in American rap? Is it an American rap thing, or is it they made it up?
It's an American rap thing, I think, but I just can't get behind it.
I can't get behind all these. I can't get behind them trying to copy American rap and being all hardcore. Because, okay, so there was also this one episode I remember because it was Zhou Xun. He did a performance, right? And then their comments were like, okay, you're being too Western, like the style that you're going for, like the flow and everything seems a little too Western. I kind of get that because it sounded like some of the rap like that we hear in like America.
Mm-hmm.
Like the flow-wise, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like melody-ish, not melody, but you know what I'm talking about,
mm-hmm.
beats. The way that it's kind of like said, like he was saying that, and then I listened to Ruyi Fan's new song. Like, you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sounds like the same thing that, you know, like I don't have a exact reference in my head right now, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convey this.
Who was this person that you said that they criticized for this?
Zhou Xun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Obviously, very, very much a stan of Zhou Xun.
I just watched it because it was him and like that performance, and I just watched it, and then they were saying that. I'm like, you're right, because it did sound like that, because it sounded very familiar to like what I heard of on the radio,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, okay, that makes sense, because some, like, you know, Chinese language and English language are different, so the flow is going to be different accordingly to how the language is kind of, you know, built.
I mean, I think that there's still a lot of things, like kind of, how do I say this?
We don't know the technical terms for these things.
But like, in like a lot of kind of the flow, like the way that they rap, it does sound like American rappers, because it is like stylistically where rap comes from. But because like anytime people like sing a lot and then like start sounding like on purpose, like they're out of breath, like it just reminds me of Chance the Rapper. And so it's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I just find it interesting.
Yeah. And then after that, I wrote down Johnny J's song 不用去猜, because I like that song. PG1 sang a song called Ta about himself when he was when he was like depressed and his mom was supporting him. So it's a song about how much he loves his mom, I guess, sort of. This is pretty good. And then Ivu Jenny sang a song called Too Much. So PG1, overall the analysis of his style by other people, not by me, is that he's very technically sound but lyrically not great,
mm-hmm.
which I can't really judge. Ivu Jenny, he, I think, is the person that I feel like out of all of them is the most, does remind me a lot of like American rappers, and he's interesting because he can, like, his singing is pretty strong, and so then like the singing and the rapping style, like I could see him being pretty successful with that. One of the things I really, really hate about him is his like random English, because so apparently I thought his name was like just like a random four character name, but Ivu Jenny is apparently supposed to be the transliteration of his English rapper name, which is After Journey.
After Journey?
Yeah, his name is After Journey.
Like After Journey?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Speaking of weird names.
Yeah, but so then he also parlays that into really weird English lyrics. And so like After Journey is this like really, so he wrote a song called After Journey, which is like this really, really like emotional song, but the English is like, I have no idea what you're saying. But then I don't remember the exact phrase, but for this
last episode, he performed a song called Too Much, and one of the lyrics in here was really too much for me, and so I literally wrote it down. So the hook on this song includes the phrase, I used to get married, but far from there.
I used to get married?
But far from there.
What?
Exactly. And so I wish he would just stop inserting random English phrases into his lyrics, because it just for anyone who speaks English, that's just weird and makes no sense. And it's like, I get that you're trying to be cool, but at the same time you're making yourself look like a fool.
What? I don't understand. Did he Google Translate this?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, and then the last one is Guy, who is this kind of cranky rapper. He always he seems really he's really hard on the outside, but really nice on the inside kind of person. So he's really abrasive and gets angry really easily, but then he was super he's a mentor to the other people on his team. And I actually think that in terms of Chinese hip hop, he does the best job at kind of infusing elements of Chinese music and culture into his rap of all of the contestants. And so in the songs that he did, it's kind of parts of it are kind of reminiscent of Kwai Ban, and there's he inserts elements of Chinese operatic singing and things like that into it, and so it's interesting. And also, weirdly enough, I think I saw Ma Su in the audience.
Ma Su? Who's Ma Su?
Ma Piaoliang.
Oh! What?
Yeah.
By herself?
Yeah.
She was just standing there with a lighter?
She was holding a banner for PG1, I think.
What? That's really weird.
Yeah, it was I don't know. There was no explanation for that.
She was on the快乐大本营episode too.
Yeah, maybe she's a weird secret fan.
No, maybe I think they just put her in there for, you know how sometimes they put artists in audiences. I don't know.
That is strange, because she was the only person that I saw in the audience that was famous.
That is weird.
And yeah, it was completely not related, and so it was weird that she was there. I smell a potential scandal.
Wait, but who won?
I'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
This is a really frustrating last episode because of what happened. But then, okay, so Jenny does another song called Yellow Skin Flow. Again, spectacular English titles. And at some point, it seemed like he maybe forgot the words. And then Guy did a song called 重新归, which was good. And then Jenny was eliminated, and Guy advanced to the next round along with PG1. And then another weird thing happened was Feng Shaoguang came on.
Who?
The director.
Okay.
You know, Lao Pao.
The heavily tatted guy.
Not heavily tatted guy. That movie.
Wait, I'm confused.
Sorry,
now.
not Feng Shaoguang. Feng Shaogang. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Director.
Yes, the director / actor.
Yes.
And so he came on wearing sunglasses indoors. And it was so random because it was what are you doing here? This is completely not the right show for your aesthetic or whatever. And he came on to promote his new movie, and it was
what?
Why? What are you doing? It was so
yeah,
obviously
this isn't a talk show.
It was so obviously an insert for him to be able to promote his new movie. It was really weird.
But in this platform?
I know.
Does he have rap in his movie?
No. Although I guess he has street cred, maybe.
Does he have street cred?
I don't know. They acted like he did, but
I don't understand.
Yeah, so that was really weird. It was really weird. Anyways, so last round is between PG1 and Guy. And then PG1 did a song with like a movie, like with that had an insert that was movie dialogue from a movie, I guess, called Let the Bullets Fly.
Oh, 让子弹飞.
Yeah. And then Guy did a song called 108. And they were both good. Both like, I guess, like serious songs. And then one I wrote down here, it's interesting because, again, like talking about authenticity and like style. So Guy was wearing this like jumpsuit, and then in the front, the logo said Dickies, and in the back it said Thrasher. So two different brands on one jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously very, very legitimate, very, you know.
Yeah. Totally not a knockoff.
Yeah. And then, like, also, then they had these, like, girls come out to, like, you know, tally the scores or whatever. Like, you know, model-y types. But they were wearing these, like, crop tops that said Chicago Bulls. And I was like, do any of you actually know who the Chicago Bulls are? Like, what is this? It was weird. Anyways. But what was like really, really unbelievable about this episode is that for the winners, so like the last two, the way they find the winner is so then they have the 100 rappers who are eliminated that come and cast their votes. So that's 100 votes. Yeah. And then each judge has 50 votes to split between, like however they want between the two contestants.
Okay.
And then at the end, after they tallied it all, they said it was a tie.
They said it was a tie?
It was a tie, which is, you know, statistically very, 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 very unlikely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a tie. And then because it was a tie, they said, okay, well, because, like, you know, they acted like this whole, like, emergency situation. The like host goes okay, and then like you see him like walking off to the side and like frantically conversing with like the producers, the director. Or whatever. Yeah, the director and the producers. And then like he comes back and he's like, okay, well, since this like nobody anticipated this happening, the judges, you are all gonna have to decide who's the winner. And so then you see like the judges like talking to themselves and like, you know, trying to like make a decision. And then what I noticed is there's no one in the audience.
What do you mean?
So, because before, when they're performing, there's like a ton of people in the audience, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, as they're discussing it, because the judges are in like a raised platform in the middle of where audience should be. Yeah. But then, like, around them is empty.
Did they, like, empty out the room for this?
I don't know. But then, after, like, they discuss for, like, a million years, Pang Weibo announces, we decided that we just should follow what the universe is telling us. And so they're tied. They're both winners this season.
What the hell?
And then you see like all the like, you know, confetti and like the fire spraying and stuff. But then they never pan to the audience again. So I'm like, I feel like it was rigged. And then they kind of just, you know.
I'm so confused.
Like, I feel like there's no way that would have happened.
There's no way that would have happened.
There's no way they would have tied in the first place with, like, that many votes that they had to have, like, equal. And then second is that it doesn't make sense that if it was not suspicious at all, that they emptied out the entire audience before they announced the winner.
Yeah. That's so weird.
I know. So overall, real strange. I don't know.
Wait, were they any good? I'm confused. Like, was it really that hard to decide, or was it like there was a clear winner, but somebody didn't want that person to win? Like, what was your opinion on that?
Hard for me to know because lyrically, I have no idea.
But what about throughout the show? Like, throughout the show, there has been that one person that you knew that was going to be just how you knew Zhou Xun was kind of like the front runner.
That was really easy to predict because of his competition was not that strong.
But here, too, I mean, there should be one person that's like, okay, this person has to win, or this person must have an edge over this other person.
I personally think that PG1 wasn't as good as Guy. because like he had like he's really good at freestyling, but like there was at least one episode where he like completely forgot his lyrics and was just freestyling the whole time. Well, there was at least two that I remember where he did that. But I think the thing with him is like he's young and he's somewhat good looking, so he's popular. He's popular. But I think Guy is the one who like he's not very attractive, and I think he's older, but he probably is. I think he's better, probably. And I can't say for sure because, again, I don't know what they're singing. And Guy sings in Chongqing dialect most of the time. But,
okay, I think that's where we get the loophole then. That one may be a little bit better, but the other one's more popular. They don't want to piss people off.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this is, like, I think probably people, if they're anything like me, which I feel like most people watching the show would like, even if they understand, they maybe don't know hip-hop that well. So I think that it would also be hard for them to decide like who's better than the other. But I don't know, like I feel like PG1, like just because you're technically sound doesn't mean that you should have like necessarily advanced that far, because if you think about it, MC Jin, very technically sound but lyrically not there, and that's why he was eliminated. Makes sense. I was salty about it, but it makes sense. But yeah, so I mean, I think that if it were up to me, I would say probably PG1 is like probably not as good as Guy. But you know, like it's like, even if that were the case, even if they were both like, because they are both very talented, I just don't see where it would be enough that they would actually tie like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That rarely ever happens.
I think it's not real. I think that it was fixed.
That sounds fake. I mean, like the whole audience thing, like everything about it sounds really fake. I mean, but hey, thank God these shows are over, because nobody needs them.
Well, on a happier note, they were on Happy Camp. You were the one who alerted me to this. And oh, I also forgot to say, I really liked Johnny J's approach to like losing, because he was like, I just wanted to be able to come and sing a song where I didn't forget the words, and I was able to do that, and so I'm like, 만이, I'm okay, I can go now. And I was like, that's a good attitude to have about life in general, you know, like that's good. He was funny on Happy Camp too, but for Happy Camp, you remember how at the beginning of the show you were like, I feel like a lot of these people only got these hairstyles just for the show?
Yeah.
So then TT is one of the rappers who went on Happy Camp, and I think it was probably after he was eliminated. I think it was, yeah. And so he was wearing a cap the whole time, and and on the show he had dreads.
He shaved it off.
I feel like you're right. Probably, you know, he did that just for the show, and now he has like he shaved his head and is wearing a cap all the time.
Yeah, he probably went back to his mom. His mom was like, what the hell are you doing? You shaved that shit off.
But yeah, also, something that has, like, really bugged me is, like, he always, like, so, I guess his, like, catchphrase or whatever is, 你的男孩 TZT. Like, your boy TT.
Okay.
But I'm like, first of all, your boy is already an awkward phrase in English to say to people who don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, to translate it into Chinese is just really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, with American rappers, they always say, hey, yo, this is your boy. Blah,
I know,
blah, blah.
But, like, if you're someone that, like, if you're an up-and-coming rapper that no one knows, it's like...
Yeah. But even, if you translate... Things that translate into Chinese really don't translate well. Yeah. They just need to come up with their own phrases.
There is that phrase that Guy says, which is apparently a shout out to Chongqing. That I can't say.
Which is? Okay.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to try. I can barely speak Mandarin as it is. I'm not even going to try. But for Happy Camp, the last thing that I wanted to say about it was Du Haitao did a song called Banana Superman.
Oh my god, I remember that. And he only... Okay, the only thing I remember from that is that he repeated Banana Superboy like 10,000 times.
Yeah, no, the reason I wrote it down is because the dancers were wearing headbands that said Banana Punch. And I was like, I was just amazed that they had these headbands specially made for this performance so that their dancers could wear headbands that say banana punch. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. That's
Where
it.
did they get this from?
I don't know.
Oh, happy camp. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, do you have any Rex and Rex this week?
To wrap up our very long recap.
Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, it's very interesting. Recapping end of summer shows. Hit summer shows. Very good. Yes, no, but I do have W-Rec this week. Okay, so you know how I said that it was the year of Jingdong for dramas? Like, he came out with a bunch, and apparently 90% of it sucks.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, I love you, but so I just recently, I think it's been out for a while. I just recently saw it though. It's called Arrows on the Bowstring.
That's a very complicated English title.
Yeah, it's hold on, what's its Chinese name? Oh, 箭在弦上. So translation. But it's it's also set in I don't know times.
Historical or modern?
It's like mid. It's again the mid 50s, after the ancient times.
Republican era?
Maybe, yeah. That era, that when they were fighting Japanese.
Yeah, Republican era.
Okay, yeah, that time, and then it's about these brothers and sisters. I think it was 2 sisters and 1 brother who learned the art form of archery.
Okay.
So, basically I literally watched 2 seconds of this and I turned it off. I didn't even wait for Jingdong to come out and I turned it off.
Oh my gosh.
But for one, I just don't really like war dramas in general. I'm just not really a big fan of them, and it looked kind of serious, a serious but not serious war drama. Let's put it that way.
Is it more serious, not serious, than The King's Woman, when people are getting murdered? Well,
oh
not
my god!
murdered, but you know the music, the doo doo.
Yeah. No, this is more supposed to be serious, but can't take it seriously because of the editing. Serious. Literally, the 2 seconds. Oh, Zhang Xing is the female lead.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, she's she has a brother and she has a sister who their grandfather taught them archery. It's kind of like a dying art form because by that time people had guns. So they're I want you guys to use arrows in the face of guns.
Okay.
So that's the premise.
Grandpa.
Yes, Grandpa's little, but that's the premise. And then the thing that made me turn off was, do you recall really, really, really old back in the day dramas when it's like the son and the father fighting or whatever, and then he smashes something on the floor and it fades into that that kind of cut where it's you know how when they show people drunk, so it's all woozy and it fades out kind of.
Is it the shaky camera?
Yeah, and it's kind of slow-mo.
Oh my gosh.
And it's dark setting, and then the dubbing also got to me. So it was you are from a military family, you will join the war. And then his son is I don't like war. Why? I want to live my own life. Smash, and it's fade out. Dun, dun, dun. That slow-mo thing, that very, very, very old school way of filming. And that just killed me.
Do you think that was a conscious stylistic choice?
Oh my god, it's just not it's literally, you know how back in the day music videos were shot, how it's kind of slow-mo, not really, because digitally they weren't there. It was like that.
But do you think that that's a decision that they made, to use older? You know how sometimes people like to shoot on what is it, 9mm film or whatever, because then it gives you that vintage look.
Yeah, but there's still something modern about the way they shoot it to make it not so. You know what I mean? Even for example, La La Land, right? It's shot in modern time and its premise is present day, but the outfits and stuff make it look very old Hollywood. but you don't feel kind of that distance, or you don't feel that disconnect. It's still kind of like a beautifully made movie, but this was like, it really felt really old school, and also it was dubbed, plus the dubbing, plus the script, plus the shooting of it, plus the narration. You know how like sometimes they have narration in the beginning and it's like not their voice, and it's like this like amazing story. My grandfather taught us his 100 years of knowledge in archery. Like that kind of.
I thought it was going to be the omniscient God voice, like, you know, Morgan Freeman coming and saying like...
Oh, no. It was I don't know if it was Jiang Xin's voice, but it was her character's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that killed me. I can't. I didn't even wait until Jingdong came out. I don't know who he is. I don't know his character. Don't ask me. I'm not watching this drama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but him. And then, okay, well, another drama, not a rec, because actually it's not out yet. I don't even think the trailer is out yet. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. But it's called Ruyi. So Ruyi is Royal Love in the Palace. Okay, that just sounds like a horrible name.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It's
Maybe
probably one of those
Puyi.
甄嬛传s, because you know a lot of these palace themed dramas would have 传 at the end, because it's like this person's life.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. But what I find interesting is that it stars Huo Jianhua and Zhou Xun, which are two like powerhouse actors. Yeah, they're like powerhouse actors. They're not like 偶像剧 actors. They're like good actors. And Zhou Xun hasn't been in a drama in a while. She's mainly doing movies.
Mm-hmm.
So she hasn't been doing dramas in a while. So for her to come back, like for anyone who's kind of like done dramas, gone into big movie scenes, and then come back into dramas, it's a big deal.
Like when Fan Bingbing did that.
Yeah, 武媚娘.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's called like Empress of China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, when somebody that big goes back to TV, it has to be pretty good. But it also could just, I don't know, like it's not always like a given thing, but it is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited to see what it is, but it also just seems like if it was those two, it's going to be kind of a serious drama, and that's going to take some time for me to get into that mood to watch a serious palace drama.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is serious historical dramas and serious war dramas. I can't do this.
I don't watch historical dramas at all. I don't watch war dramas at all. I only watch rom-coms. There we go.
Only watch 偶像剧, 雷剧.
Yeah. And there was that one time I watched that, like, the one about, you know, the guy who sees dead people. But other than that...
Well, you should see 无心法师 then. I think you'd like it.
Maybe. Well, thank you all for listening to this episode of the podcast. As a reminder, we are now uploading on Wednesdays. So come back next Wednesday for a new episode. In the meantime, you can feel free to check out our website at thelalashow.tumblr.com. You can also listen to us on Wuxia or iTunes. And so we will see you next Wednesday.